All right, so one of the great things that I love when I'm having to go and watching this movie is the fact that we get to see this really cute baby elephant, and the fact that we get to see both Batman and the Penguin appearing on the big screen once more again with the performances of Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito. So, and the fact that I'm a big fan of the Tim Burton films, I was really excited and having to go in and watch this. So let's go and talk about it here, you guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go.
Okay, so Dumbo is officially now out in theaters, and I went ahead and took the opportunity to have it to go out and watch it this past Friday. And I gotta say that it is a family-made film. You know, families who are interested in having to take out their children to go out to the movie theater and witness such an incredible experience. Having to witness some more of the imaginations of Tim Burton is just fantastic, so wonderful. I really do admire the fact that Tim Burton is actually one of my favorite directors. I grew very fond of his work back in the day when he did Edward Scissorhands, 1889's Batman, Beetlejuice, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, so on and so forth. I mean, he does such a remarkable job. And I'll go ahead and give it to some credit towards Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Dark Shadows. I really do admire his work with Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I did like 2001's Planet of the Apes. So he does have that sort of imagination, very unique imagination to give to the audiences and fans who go off to the theaters to experience his type of work within his world. He not only is Dumbo his live adaptation based off of the 1941's animated Disney classic, but he has done some work in the past related towards having to doing a live adaptation from a Disney film classic, which is Alice in Wonderland. Now, I was okay with Alice in Wonderland, but I didn't really find that the film was very highly memorable enough in order for it to being such a great successor to the collection of Tim Burton films. In which cases, I don't really think that the film even necessarily needed a sequel to that, which is Alice Through the Looking Glass. But for me, I would have to say when it comes to the relations of Dumbo, I'd have to say that Dumbo is in the same scale, but actually in a lower level underneath Alice in Wonderland. And Dumbo, it's really fantastic, and having to seeing this character being brought to life, and the animation of creating this character, including all the animals within the circus, is just fantastic. It feels very realistic. I really did admire the hard work that the studios had developed into having to creating these great and wonderful characters. I don't know what the character the little mouse is within the 1941 classic is, the name, but he does make a little bit of an appearance within the film, but it's not a main character. It's more off of a side background type of character. But I was really looking forward to seeing if there was a possibility of having to transfer some of those animals into having their own voice being put into the film, but unlikely, since this is a Disney film. They should have done some aspects towards that, but unfortunately they didn't happen to go with that. Just like how they did with the Jungle Book, and with our upcoming summer flick of The Lion King. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those films, especially having to go and watch Aladdin in May. So summer movie season is right around the corner, so I'm really excited about that. But when it happens to come to Dumbo, the film, the animated film back in the day was only for about the good maximum of about an hour, and nowadays features like that make a premiere within the theaters are not highly popular to audiences having to take in their time to go into the theater and watching just an hour-long film. They want something on the scale of an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours long. And so what they had to do is that they had to extend the story by having to add some human characters, getting some more story development brought into the film. Not only having to having Dumbo involved, but getting those human characters involved with his storyline as well. In which cases, of course, we got Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Eva Green, so on and so forth. So many characters brought into this film that really didn't have any significant importance to the story back in the 1941 animated Disney classic. But it is still a lot of fun. I really did have a great, excellent time having to go and watch it. It's not a film that I would say I would very much be excited to go back to the theater and watch over again. It would be a film that I would say I probably might watch it by renting the film, not even having to buy the flick. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Tim Burton, and I really did wish for this film to have a lot of good reviews towards it, but unfortunately the film wasn't highly rememberable enough for me to state the fact that this is a great film. It's an okay flick, like I said, but unfortunately I would have to set the scale of stating that the film is highly forgettable, you know. And it took me quite a while on having to do this review because I had so many things having to put together that I went ahead and threw this towards the ending of the list. But I had a wonderful time with the film. It was great. But for my review towards the movie, I'd have to give it to a very lower level for the film. I believe Rotten Tomatoes gave this film a 42%. So they gave it actually a 38%. I believe it was. I have to take a look at that again. But when it comes to my scaling for the film, I was actually around that level and having to saying that Dumbo was about a good 44%. So it's round in the middle scaling. So it's what I came towards after having to leave the film. You know, I was satisfied, but there were several things about the film that really didn't capture my attention. That didn't really capture the Disney magic that we all remember from what we remember from the 1941 film. And even though Dumbo is such a wonderful and fantastic Disney story, and having it to being developed into a live-action film wasn't really a very highly anticipated film for most audiences to having to go out to the theater and watch. So that's my review for Dumbo, you guys. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please leave them in the comments section in the bottom, and let's have an awesome conversation regarding towards this flick or any movies that you like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but more importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can also take a look at some more of my movie reviews on YouTube and on Facebook. Just go ahead and look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews, and click the like and subscribe button, share the videos. You know, let everybody know what a wonderful experience it is having to, you know, watch these certain reviews, getting you guys and some anticipation and having to going after watching this flick. And also, I'm also doing a live Facebook video commentary based off of all 20 of the MCU films, excluding Captain Marvel, which is now in theaters, going from the first Iron Man film all the way to Ant-Man and the Wasp. So it's a great success. It's a lot of fun. If you happen to have your copy of any of those films within the time I'm doing a live video commentary, you go ahead and check that out and become part of the experience before April 26th, which is the theatrical release of Avengers Endgame. So stay tuned for that, you guys. Otherwise, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys so much, and I'll go ahead and check y'all out in the next video. Bye.